Hello there. So, how does the lesson plan template that is provided by the CSOE differ from any others that I have seen? So, honestly, I haven't seen that many lesson plan templates from teachers. I have maybe seen one or two by teachers who have been coworkers of mine. As a student, I haven't seen that many. Even though I did, as I graduated, high school or my university, I did keep in touch with a few teachers to kind of pick their brain a little bit after graduation as to pretty much how to be a successful and great teacher. So some did show me kind of an outline of their lesson plans and how they would be created. But what I can say is by going over the CSO lesson template is that it's a very specific. One thing I did notice that it states the topic for introductions for new material, guided practice, and also independent practice. All those give you a required time, or should I say, a suggested time. I know it's just a suggested time that you should be spending on that specific area, but I kind of like that part as kind of it gives you an idea of how long you should stick with a certain topic. For example, it states for independence practice that you should do about 25 minutes. It gives you a suggested time. And out of all the other topics, that one is the longest, that has the longest time frame for it. So this kind of gives me the impression that you should probably focus on that specific area the longest. Another thing I see is for classroom management. Everything is pretty much what I have seen before with healthy learning environment, as well how to maintain a supportive and safe environment. But one thing that's a little new to me and that I really like is how will you establish a climate of learning. I think that this section is very important, um, as important it is to support the promotion of each other and have good peer relationships as well. One of the three elements that I think might be difficult would be the section of diverse learners. I think the element will be a little challenging for me because I will have to learn about all my students within a short period of time to see what is the best way to teach them. Reading about different disabilities and also just the difference of everyone's abilities to learn is different. Depending on their disability or diversity, I feel like each person will be different, and only to know more about them is just getting to learn each individual separately. The second element that I think might be a little challenging would be differentiation. A little similar to the first one, but just being able to learn each student's ways of how they learn. I've been around a few teachers who only teach one way and one way only. But the thing is, some students can learn the same thing, but just have to be taught a little differently or shown a different pathway to get to the end result. I feel like this, since I've never done that before, might be a little bit challenging trying to figure out each student's ways of learning and maintaining that throughout the whole course of the year. The third element that might be challenging for me will be able to measure their objectives correctly. I know that in some cases this is measurable objectives by your district or by your school, and you as a teacher also have your own, but the student might have something as well. But what I think could be tough is putting down specific objectives, and what I believe should be obtainable might not be the same for the schools or the students. And if those students don't achieve those goals, then they might feel like I could have done a better job, or maybe the goals were too high in the first place. So I feel like this could be a bit of a challenge, as in making sure I set high enough objectives that are for sure and tough, but for sure obtainable, but not too high as they won't be reachable for students, so it won't be considered a failure. But I feel after a little bit of experience, I will be able to learn more about my students and set the correct objectives, as well as learn from myself on how to become a better instructor and how to help them reach these goals.